repetition as a persuasive technique. We're going to look at the way Barack Obama uses repetition to convey and strengthen and enhance and emphasize his points. He does it in a very clever way. It's worth looking at this in some detail. Okay, we're going to hear Barack right now in a minute. He is talking in his Bin Laden speech, and this is the beginning of the speech. I'm going to look in some depth at this little section and the ways in which he repeats words and his purposes behind.
We offered our neighbors a hand, and we offered the wounded our blood. We reaffirmed our ties to each other and our love of community and country. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family.
Okay, we can hear Barack repeating a number of phrases in this speech. Firstly, he says the verb phrase, we offered, twice. Now, you need to think about, why does he repeat this? We offered. Now, to get a grip on analyzing persuasive techniques, you need to really think about the meaning. We offered. So he's offering a hand and then offering the wounded our blood. Very interesting that he is joining together two ideas with the repetition. So he's saying on the one hand, the American people helped their neighbors by giving them a hand, and then he gives this very interesting phrase, we offered the wounded our blood. What he means there is that the Americans went to war with their enemies. But he doesn't say this. He presents it as the Americans offering up themselves as a sacrifice, or offering the wounded our blood. In other words, we're giving our blood, we're giving our lives, the lives of the American soldiers, as a offering. And so the repetition we offered it emphasizes not only the Americans' gesture of friendliness to their neighbors, trying to help them, but also emphasizes the pain and loss the Americans experienced in fighting terrorism. He then goes on in this speech to repeat the possessive pronoun our a few times. Our is quite interesting, isn't it? Because he is trying to say this is all of our efforts with this possessive plural pronoun. And he's saying that it brought the nation together to fight like this. Then he goes on to repeat in the next sentence the pronoun we. It is a subject pronoun, so he makes the American people the subject of the sentence, and he repeats we came from, we prayed to, we were a few times to suggests that all of the American people came together to fight against terrorists, no matter what God we prayed to. So he's emphasizing that everyone in America is united. It doesn't matter about religion. And then he says what race or ethnicity we were. So this is something that black and white people fought for. And then he goes on to talk about how we were united as one American family. I think this is quite interesting, isn't it? Because he is emphasizing through the personal pronoun we that they're all in it together. There is no disagreement amongst the American people that you need to fight terrorists. So what I need you to do now is to write an analysis of this particular section, examining what Obama is doing by repeating these key words. What meanings is he emphasizing? What does the repetition tell us about who his audience is? Remember, he's using pronouns like we and are because he's speaking to the American people, and so he's addressing and persuading his audience by talking in this way and repeating things in this way. And I also want you to think about his purpose. Why is he repeating these words? What was he trying to achieve here? I think there is a persuasive purpose here, isn't there? He's trying to persuade people that everyone is in this together. This is not something that we should be disagreeing with, because there had been quite a bit of resistance to the war in Iraq, for example, and many people had problems with the war in Afghanistan in America. So he's speaking not only to people who believed in fighting terrorism in the way the Americans did, but he's speaking to people who had their doubts. So have a go at writing an analysis of this section, and then use what you've learned by analyzing this section to develop your ability to analyze another section where you spot repeated words, linking the repetition to what the purposes of the speaker is, what their audience is, what they're trying to make you think, feel, and even see in your mind. Thank you.